Today is an action-packed day for IPOs, with three big names, Vishal Mega Mart, Sai Life Sciences, and One MobiKwik Systems hitting the market, collectively aiming to raise around 12,000 crore rupees. In this video, we are diving into MobiKwik's IPO. And guess what? As we speak, MobiKwik's IPO is already fully subscribed. We'll cover everything you need to know before deciding whether to apply or pass on it. And if you're still confused between the IPO options that I've opened today, don't miss our detailed breakdown of Vishal Mega Mart as well. Now let's get started with the MobiKwik's business overview. MobiKwik is your all-in-one payment app, like a wallet on your phone. From recharges and bill payments to shopping and buy now, pay later. Plus, it offers few investment options too. It's secure, easy to use, and it's trusted by millions. MobiKwik's operations can be broadly categorized under two heads: payment services and financial services. Now first let's look at payment services. Here it facilitates easy payments both for the retail customers as well as merchants. It provides various transaction options to retail users like MobiKwik Wallet, UPI, cards, and MobiKwik Zip. These are typically used for paying utility bills, shopping, and for money transfer. Under this division, MobiKwik also covers the transaction needs of merchants by providing solutions like online checkouts, QR codes, sound boxes, and EDC machines. As of June 2024, MobiKwik has connected a total of 161 million users with 4.26 million merchants. Now coming to financial services. The company's financial services division consists of MobiKwik's Zip EMI and investment products such as mutual funds, digital gold, and fixed deposits. Now let's look at how the company earns revenue. The way MobiKwik's business works is that the payments division helps connect retail users with merchants. This serves as a funnel for the financial services business, allowing the company to cross-sell credit, investment, and insurance products. MobiKwik's revenue from operations shows a shift towards financial services. In Q1 FY25, payment services contributed to 50.12% of revenue, while financial services made up to 49.88%. However, in FY24, financial services grew to 63.76% of the total revenue, while payment services decreased to 36.24%. This indicates MobiKwik's growing focus on financial products, with a significant shift in its revenue over the past year. Now coming to MobiKwik's IPO details. MobiKwik IPO has an issue size of 572 crore rupees, entirely consisting of fresh shares, with an upper price band of 279 rupees per share. The IPO opens for subscription on December 11, 2024 and closes on December 13, 2024. Now, if you are a retail investor, you will need at least 14,787 rupees to buy the minimum lot of 53 shares. India's financial services sector, which includes lending, insurance, and mutual funds, is still largely untapped, presenting a significant opportunity for tech-driven companies like MobiKwik to capture the market share. The digital financial products and services market, valued at USD 1.06 trillion, which is 85 trillion rupees in FY23, is expected to grow to USD 3 to 3.2 trillion, which is 242 to 56 trillion rupees by FY28, with a 21% annual growth rate. Now, MobiKwik's addressable market in FY23 was USD 5.3 billion, which is 424 billion rupees, and it's projected to reach USD 16 to 18 billion, which is 1.3 to 1.4 trillion rupees by FY28. India's digital lending ecosystem is still in its early stages, currently making up to about 2% of its total lending, but it's growing rapidly. The value of disbursed loans jumped by 41% from USD 5.8 billion in FY21 to USD 11.6 billion in FY23. By FY28, digital lending is expected to account for 4% of retail lending. Now, what about its operational and financial performance, you may ask? Operational performance, platform spend GMV and payment GMV have grown significantly at 42% and 46% CAGR respectively, showing robust traction in overall spending and payments. However, payment gateway GMV has declined by -11% CAGR. MobiKwik's Zip GMV surged with 112% CAGR and Zip EMI GMV skyrocketed by 330% CAGR, highlighting the increasing adoption of credit-based solutions. Registered users increased steadily to 156 million, but the number of new registered users dropped by 15%, signaling potential saturation. One more important point to note is that the customer acquisition cost rose sharply, indicating higher spending to acquire users. MobiKwik is expanding rapidly in credit products and financial services while facing some challenges in cost efficiency and new user growth. Now coming to its financial performance. Between FY22 and FY24, its revenue grew by 29% per annum. It turned profitable in FY24. Since it is making losses, its profit margins are in the negative. Debt-wise, the debt-to-equity ratio has gone up a bit to 0.79 in H1 FY25. Now let us look at how the company is positioned with respect to its peers. As reported in the RHP, MobiKwik is among a small number of uniquely positioned players with business segments such as payment services and financial services. Though there is no direct comparison for the company, but we can compare it with 197, that is Paytm, to understand its relative position and performance. As we can see here, MobiKwik is a relatively small player in the fintech space compared to Paytm. With 155 million users and 4.1 million merchants, it stands far behind Paytm. Lastly, MobiKwik's EBITDA margin is positive at 4.2%, but Paytm still has a negative EBITDA. However, if you consider all the digital financial products and services platforms, as of FY23, MobiKwik had the fourth largest user base in India in FY23, when we consider total registered users on the platform. And in terms of wallet GMV, also it ranks second after the Paytm. Now let's move on to our final segment, which is the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, or also known as SWOT analysis. Starting with the strengths, MobiKwik has built strong brand recognition, not only in metro cities but also in smaller towns. It has impressive ratings with a 4.4% on Google Play Store and a 4.6% on the Apple App Store. Additionally, while the company is relatively small, it has managed to turn profitable and remains focused on achieving sustainable and profitable growth moving forward. Now let's take a closer look at the weaknesses. First, the company is highly dependent on third-party players for its credit products, which could pose a risk. Additionally, there has been a decline in new user additions in recent years, which is a concern for growth. Another issue is the rising customer acquisition cost, which has been increasing steadily. This is particularly worrying as the company is still striving for consistent profitability. On the opportunity side, MobiKwik is well positioned to capitalize on India's rapidly growing digital payment space. The market is still underpenetrated, especially in the unsecured credit sector, offering significant potential for expansion. Moreover, the company has developed a strong ecosystem that allows it to upsell and diversify its offering, which could further drive growth. However, there are threats that MobiKwik must navigate. One major concern is regulatory risk, as the financial services sector is highly regulated, which could impact the company's operations. Additionally, MobiKwik's lack of experience in underwriting, being a recent entrant into the credit lending space, exposes it to potential credit underwriting risks. Finally, while the opportunity in this sector is large, competition is also rising rapidly among the fintech players, which could pose challenges for MobiKwik moving forward. The company has positioned itself as a key player in mobile wallets and digital lending, tapping into a huge underserved segment in India that has little or no credit history. The growth from FY22 to FY24 has been impressive, and what's more, it has even become profitable at both EBITDA and PAT levels in FY24. However, future growth will depend on its ability to expand its financial services, grow its merchant network, and navigate competitive and regulatory challenges within the fintech sector. Having said that, this is Neha signing off.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.